Alright, back at you guys with another YouTube video. So, I want to start this video off by saying elementary school, middle school, high school, I was bullied in all of them, right? And almost my entire life I felt like a quote-unquote outcast, right? Because when I was younger, going to elementary school, I was the white kid in a predominantly Black and Hispanic community, right? But as most of you can tell, I'm not just white. I clearly look mixed. You can tell, look at my hair. You can tell that I'm not just white, but because of my skin color, in elementary school I was picked on for that. I was a little chunky then, so I was picked on for that too. In middle school, I was the mixed kid in a predominantly white school, so I was also picked on in that school. And then high school, same thing. But like middle school, I got picked on for being chunky. I always got told that I looked like a monkey. And kids would really bully me about that. And honestly, that was probably like the biggest thing that hurt me, right? Being chunky hurt a little bit, but the other thing was worse. And I didn't realize in middle school that it was because I was going to a predominantly white school, right? But that's kind of besides the point. I wanted to make this video because this is a completely different perspective on bullying, right? This is a perspective that I think if you can make this shift and understand what I'm saying and realize I'm not being a dickhead, it'll actually help you if you were bullied, right? So think about it. I told you guys I was bullied for being chunky. A lot of people are bullied for being chunky. A lot of kids, actually I was messed with too for like the clothes that I wear. Like sometimes I would show up to school with like high waters because that's all I could have was like hand-me-downs, right? So it's like bullying, right? Especially when it comes to kids being chunky, when it comes to kids wearing clothes that are like the high waters, the shirts that are super short. Like, yes, the kids that are bullying these kids are wrong for the way that they go about it, but think about it. These quote-unquote bullies are telling these kids the truth. So it feels way worse than it should as a kid, because the majority of kids at home, like say a kid that's chunky, we'll start with that. A kid that's chunky, right? If the parents took responsibility for that and realized, oh shit, I was chunky in school and I got bullied. So if my kid is chunky, my kid's gonna get bullied too. If they thought about that and they're like, you know what, we gotta figure out a way so that our family isn't chunky anymore. Like, we have to break this curse. It's a curse that curses a lot of families for a long time. So it's like, if the parents took responsibility for that and kind of let their kids know, like, hey, yeah, you may be a little bit chunky, but we're gonna fix it. Mom and dad are gonna learn how to not be chunky, right? And the parents like really should communicate that to their kids if they're actually trying to solve the problem. And guess what? If parents did that, let's say if a parent sat Tommy down, Tommy's super overweight, and they're like, Tommy, you're overweight, we're overweight, but it's something that we can fix. It's something that we can solve. So mom and dad are gonna take responsibility for being overweight, and we're gonna learn how to fix it so that we can help you, so that you'll no longer get bullied in school, right? Most parents don't do that though. They lie to their kids. They, oh, those bullies are so mean. Those bullies are so wrong about what they're saying. But it's like, are they? The reason that the bullying hurts so much, especially when you're overweight, is because most parents in the home environment are lying to their kids. They're not letting them know, like, yeah, you kind of are chunky, but we can fix it. Like, mom and dad can help you fix it. If they did that, the stuff that the bullies would say, like, it wouldn't affect kids as much, because they'd be like, dude, why are you telling me something I already know? Like, mom and dad are already helping me fix it, so tell me something I don't know, right? Same thing with clothing, right? I think it's like mom and dad's responsibility to know that they grew up poor and they went to school with hand-me-downs, with stains, with holes, with high waters, with shirts that were too short, and say, you know what? Our family's not going to live like this anymore, because I know I got picked on in school, so I'm not going to let my kid go through the same shit. And then it's the kid's or the parent's responsibility to fix it. Because, dude, when a kid is getting picked on for coming to school with bummy clothes, are the bullies wrong? They're wrong for the way that they approach it. They're wrong for the way they go about poking the buttons at the kids. But they're not wrong that the kids are showing up looking like unpresentable. And if parents just took responsibility, or like just people in general started taking responsibility for these curses that plague families for like generations, and said, you know what, it's stopping here, bullying probably really wouldn't be a thing. Also, too, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the kids that are bullies, they're doing these things to make themselves feel better. You know why? Because their home life sucks. Anything that has to do with bullying is the parents' fault, 100%. Because if parents took more responsibility for the home life environment, for like how they allow their kids to go to school, how they allow their kids to like look physically, like all that stuff affects you internally. And if parents took responsibility for that and learned how to fix it for themselves, they wouldn't be setting their kids up for failure in school. So it's like, I want you to realize that, like, the bullies, yes, they're wrong for the way that they approach pointing out weaknesses in these kids, but they are not wrong about what they're saying. They're not, like, if you take the way that they're doing it and you move that out of the way, and you just look at what they're saying in a plain statement, like, yes, the kid that they're picking on is chunky. Yes, the kid that they're picking on is showing up to school bummy ass clothes. But, like, it can all be fixed. My whole point is, though, like, the bullies are not lying to these kids. And the reason that these things hurt the kids so much in school, the kids that are getting bullied, is because their parents are lying to them, bro. Like, parents just need to be honest with their kids, honest with themselves. It really starts with themselves. If they were honest with themselves about the way that they look, the way they present themselves, they would be able to do it with their kids too, and then actually fix the problems. But, like, I want some comments from you guys. I want to know what you guys think about what I said. Do you guys agree with the fact that the parents are the problems? And that, like, the parents failing to solve the problems that they had going through school and passing them down to their kids are just plain out wrong. Like, especially as a man, bro. If you as a man were picked on in school for being overweight, and you now are living in a way that causes your kids to be overweight, and you didn't decide to fix that problem, you're a fucking loser, in my opinion. That's a very easy problem to solve, and you decided not to solve it and then pass it down to your kids? That's horrible. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you agree to disagree? Let's see some stuff down in the comments. I want to know what you guys think. But These videos are going to keep coming, like I said, every Monday, every Friday. And if they have an impact on you, just share them with somebody. If it impacts you, it'll impact somebody else. And most likely, if it impacts you, the people that you're surrounded by, it'll impact them too, because you literally just attract who you are into your life. So if you see it through a certain lens that allows you to take these videos and you're actually able to learn from them, like everybody else in your environment can learn from them too. And that's the whole goal of me putting these out. Like, I just want to spread this message. I want people to start thinking differently so that they can actually change things in their life rather than just continuing to live the same problems over and over again in their life without actually fixing them. Like, the things I'm talking about are the actual generational curses that plague families for generations and generations. It can stop at you. And that's what I want you to see. It can really stop at you. You can make, like, it literally takes one decision. Let's say you're chunky. No more. We're done. I commit to solving it for the rest of the generations to come. Or at least doing my part so that I set up every generation after me for success, because I learned how to fix my problem. So if like all these generations that come after me, they're going to be set up with the proper habits. Remember, it can stop at you. But as always, I love you guys, and I'll have another video out Friday. Peace.